bodies. Were people living down here when Old Crestwood flooded?
Cold water rising. No way out. Maker's breath.
Dwarven ruins down here.
Looks like an old outpost. What's it doing here?
This area is more storied than I thought.
I don't want to backtrack, but do you know where we're going?
I feel a draft. There must be a way out nearby. down here.
Tried braised duck without fruit. It was my brother's favorite. Growing up, he only tried. By the rift, demons!
Oh, zods. That should stop any more corpses from strolling about.
Let's tell the mayor.
Inquisitor.
Way. Yes?
The rage demon in the caves is dead, as you commanded.
I had no doubts. Now that my sovereignty has been respected, I can depart this unchanging nightmare. Your reward. Use it well.
Seriously can't believe that worked.
Well met, sir.
As the moth sees light and goes toward your worship.
I've already found the remains of the people who died in Old Crestwood.
Blessed Andraste. I didn't imagine you'd look yourself. Thank you for your thoughtfulness. It is all too rare these days. I will prepare the bodies for cremation.
What do you mean the mayor's gone?
A letter of confession from the mayor. It says he was the one who flooded Old Crestwood 10 years ago to stop the blight from spreading.
I knew he was nervous about more than the undead.
That sorry bastard. He left before he could get caught.
The mayor's racked with guilt. If he hadn't confessed, I doubt we'd have found out.
Want me to handle that?
We won't forget the Inquisition help from no one else would, I promise. Well met, your will. Farewell.
I've got a minute if you need something.
Can I ask you...
You want to talk about me? Nope.
Good afternoon.
We'll talk later. Anything interesting?
A letter regarding Felix, Alexius's son. He went to the magisterium, stood on the Senate floor and told them of you. A glowing testimonial, I'm informed. No news on the reaction, but everyone back home is talking. Felix always was as good as his word.
Was?
He's dead. The blight caught up with him.
Are you all right?
He was ill, and thus on borrowed time anyhow.
That doesn't mean you can't regret his death.
I know. Felix used to sneak me treats from the kitchens when I was working late in his father's study. Don't get into trouble on my behalf, I tell him. I like trouble, he'd say. Tevinter could use more mages like him. Those who put the good of others above themselves.
Were the two of you...
Felix and I? What an odd question. No, I had no intention of abusing Alexius's hospitality by seducing his son. Not that I've been proper my whole life, by any means. It wasn't like that. Even in illness, Felix was the best of us. With him around, you knew things could be better.
You make it sound like he was a better person than you.
What a mad thing to say. Few people are better than I. Very well, a better person, clearly, not nearly as handsome. Thankfully, Felix wasn't the only decent sort kicking around Thedas. What's on your mind?
I should go.
No.
Greetings again, Inquisitor.
I trust everything is well.
We're mostly relieved. An alliance with the Inquisition offers security, although who knows for how long.
I'll leave you to it.
Far be it for me to suggest a training adjustment.
It's a noble calling, the Knight Enchanter. You have joined the ranks of the most select mages. You should be commended. So few have the discipline necessary.
I didn't realize you were a Knight Enchanter, Vivian.
Of course I am, darling. Knight Enchanters serve in the highest echelons of the Chantry and Circle. Where else would I be?
I'm pleased you approve of my choice.
You have your moments, my dear. Yes?
Is there anything I can do to help your effort?
After the Circles fell, their libraries were 1,000 years of recorded knowledge in the hands of... I've received news that some tomes have been located, if you are interested in righting this wrong.
I'll look in...
If you can take care of this matter, the Circle...
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor, greetings. I was recently appointed by Sister Liliana to keep her books in order. I'm so pleased to be here, helping out in my small way. Well, I should get...
You've joined a fellowship with a distinguished history. Knight enchanters have long served the divine.
Alas, we are lacking one at the moment.
Indeed.
Sorry.
It's all right. I was thinking it even as you said it. No matter, you have chosen well, and are in good company. I had friends who were knight enchanters, who served at Justinia's side, who died with her. It's good to see new mages keeping this flame alive.
Anything I should know?
Altegan has returned to Redcliffe Castle and resumed his duties as lord. The people are returning, slowly but surely. Unfortunately, our show of support for the mages has angered many.
I'll leave you to your work.
Inquisitor? If you've a moment. My Lady Inquisitor, it's good of you to speak with me. I have news regarding one of your companions, the Winter.
Has Dorian done something wrong?
No, thankfully. It's nothing like that. I have been in contact with his family. House Pavas, out of Carenas. Are you familiar with them?
He's mentioned his family. They don't appear to be on good terms.
Yes. I believe you're correct. The family sent a letter describing the estrangement from their son and pleading for my aid. They've asked to arrange a meeting quietly without telling him. They fear it's the only way he'll come. Since you seem to be on good terms with the young man, I'd hoped...
Just what kind of meeting do they have in mind?
I believe they just want to talk, to understand why Dorian felt he had to come here. Somewhere private, away from Skyhold, but not in Winter. You make them nervous, I think. They don't understand why he's here with the Inquisition. They want him to come home.
I'd be worried too if my son ran off to join some gauche foreigners on a crusade.
So would I. Although I suspect there's more to it than either of us understands.
Why would his family contact you?
Because they don't know you, Inquisitor. I am not of the Imperial Chantry, but they know what I represent. These are parents concerned about the welfare of their son. How could I not do whatever possible? I would speak to the young man myself, but he does not care for me. Thus I come to you. If any good can come of this, we must try.
They don't want Dorian to know? That seems odd.
They believe the young man would refuse, and the letter implies he'd have cause. Yet, they are remorseful for whatever came before. This is a chance for dialogue. There is deceit in bringing the young man to this meeting without his foreknowledge, I know. But Does it not lead to a greater kindness if there is potential for reconciliation?
Are you sure this isn't some kind of trap? I mean, the secrecy.
That it occurred to me. What if it is a plot of those mages, the Venatori? Another reason to put this in your hands, Inquisitor. I pray that isn't the case. But if it is, you are far better equipped than I to respond to such treachery.
I'll see what I can do.
Bless you, Inquisitor. The family will send a retainer to meet the young man at the Red Cliff Tavern, to take him onward. If he truly does not wish this reunion, he can always end the matter there. I shall pray for your success and the young man's happiness. That's all we can hope for, is it not?
Where's my hammer? That one. Or that.
Yes?
Who rules Antiva?
Officially, the Principality of Antiva is governed by His Majesty King Fugelno II. In reality, Antiva's merchant princes rule the country in everything. Quite loudly, I might add.
What sort of dealings did you have with these?
As ambassador, I attended Privy Council meetings in immediate May I just say, one has never heard an argument until they've sat in on 15 princes howling down each other's tariff suggestions.
That sounds like more of a mob than a meeting.
It's all a part of life in Antiva. Our traditions value passion and romance, a certain exuberance of style.
Are you positive you're Antivan?
I can be most exuberant when it's called for. Just at the right moments, and in a proper... Might we speak of something else?
You haven't...
We met... let me think. We met the last few... It seems terrifyingly long ago now.
How exactly did you and...
I discovered my family had been overcharging a merchant we traded with for months. Our name carries a great deal of trust in Antiva. I spent weeks arranging a string of favors as suitable. Apparently satisfied, the merchant extended me and Leliana greeted me in place of the merchant.
I assume the entire problem was some form of trial.
You assume correctly. Leliana claimed she needed someone of painful integrity for the Inquisition. I accepted, once she finally explained what it was.
Do you remain...
Yes, but she's grown so much more distant than the out... Leliana used to wander the Orlesian courts, singing the sweetest song. Now she collects secrets and takes risks that would make empires tremble. I worry, but she will not hear it. She enjoys revisiting our more disastrous adventures. Leliana used to run if you ever see her with a twine ball, a measuring stick, and a handkerchief.
Where were you raised?
I was born in Antiva City, but when I turned 15, Mother declared... but I bowled into her skirts the day I had to leave.
Did they have to pry your...
Admittedly, I may have been a but my mother only wanted the best for me. Living in Orlais was an education in itself.
What did you learn at this...
Among other things, mathematics, rhetoric, poetry, history, logic, and a great deal of etiquette. I still remember Madame Beventir's switch on my knuckles when I forgot the basic tenets of Nevaran dining customs. For a dowager approaching her 80th year, she had quite the arm.
How did the younger you like Valroyo when you arrived?
Have you ever stepped into a new city and felt the buildings couldn't That was Valroyo to me. So beautifully foreign. I gaped at its spires for months.
Does Antiva City have nothing that...
Antiva City is a jewel. But I did not appreciate that. There are multitudes of places I'd like to see. Saharan, the Anderfels, whatever lies past the Amaranthine Ocean.
What's the land like?
The setter areas are quite lush. The vineyards run as far as the eye can see. Antiva City, however, perches right up against the Rialto. That's what I miss most. The sea crashing against the maze of the docks.
I have difficulty seeing you wandering...
Everyone in Antiva City spends time by the ships, my lady. The finest restaurants and poets all make their habitat. The waterfronts never still. Lanterns are lit along the promenade, no matter what the weather.
Are you ever home?
Occasionally. When a breeze stirs the trees in the garden. Do you know, I even miss those terrible squawking birds. My youngest sister used to throw whole loaves of bread to the gulls. Silly thing.
Tell me about the money.
Well, my parents are alive and in good health. They live in our estate. Of my 4 siblings, most attend to the running of the family. that reminds me. I must ask someone to make sure Yvette attends the spring reception at the palace. My youngest sister has no head for social engagements.
Why are you overseeing your...
It's Antivan custom. After a certain age, the heir apparent runs the family's estate to prove they're worthy of... If you're unfit for the task, the heads of the house, usually one's parents, may decree a new heir.
What do these Antivan heads of the household do?
They work and provide guidance. I've taken advice from my parents. Father's more of an artist. It's rather gauche, but we never can dissuade him from running. Between him and my siblings, Mother's looking forward to my taking over the estate.
I imagine there must be give and take between a family heir.
There is a fair amount of arbitration. Bickering, if one is. But managing the estate is my duty. As much work as it is, I will not shirk it.
Is running your family's estate?
I'm responsible for their welfare. A Montilier... taxing, as those duties can sometimes be.
Maybe your siblings could help lighten you.
You don't know them. But Lorien in charge or... No, truly. It must be me. Farewell. Inquisitor. at your service.
All right.
Inquisitor.
Going well, I hope?
What's been going on?
Varric came by to talk. He told me a story about copper marigolds.
What's been going...
Madame de Fer said hello to me. Or maybe she was waving at some... Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Someone left sliced plums on the windowsill again. The juice is attracting flies. There are spiders everywhere. The plums were right in front.
Inquisitor?
What's the current mood?
Turgid? The admirals of the Felicissima Armada are disappointed the Inquisition is primarily inland.
As you...
Inquisitor. That's got a good ring to it. We're happy to be here, Your Worship. You need anything, let me know.
Iron Bull said the chargers were at my disposal. Do you have any suggestions on...
I suspect Haven's quiet by now. Might be worth sending the boys back. We could recover some supplies, get an idea about the enemy's... We could even pick up any stragglers who haven't found Skyhold yet.
Can we talk about...
Best company you'll find from here to the... In my time with the Chief, we've gone up against everything from bandits to... We're expensive, but you'll never doubt we're worth it. Want to know anything in particular?
Do the chargers specialize in anything from...
Bull doesn't want us large enough to work as an army. We're better as shock troops, as skirmishers. We've got archers for hitting enemy infantry, Dalish with more archery, and Skinner and her people on the floor. Rocky handles fortifications and traps, and Stitches keeps us all fighting. I'll lead the frontline fighters with Grim, and the Chief goes wherever he can hit something.
I assume the chargers observe...
Absolutely. Clean record and cleared to take jobs in any country you can... We accept surrenders for ransom from mercenaries, nobles, and soldiers wearing a lord's colors. Our prisoners are treated well, injuries tended. We'd want the same for any of ours who got captured.
You said something about everything from bandits?
Right. Sylvans. That's what Dalish called them. Some noble in the Dales, and they really don't like it when you call them Dalish nobles. Had a haunted... His family had abandoned the land, but he wanted it back. The chief bought us all axes, and in we went. Between the axes and the torches, the Sylvans weren't too bad. Worst part was the squirrels.
We'll talk.
Inquisitor?
I'd like to know more about...
The chief. First, I never thought I'd work for Canary, but... He's not like any commander I've ever worked for. That's for damn sure.
How's I...
If you know what you're doing and hold up your end, he's easy. He doesn't accept. He keeps us alive, he leads from the front, and if you've an idea that'll win the fight, he listens. I've seen bands whose captains had to prove they were swinging the biggest sword. The charges might give him more lip than you'd expect, but every one of us would lay down our lives for the big ass.
How did a Tevinter soldier wind up in a Kunari spy's murder?
I wasn't a soldier at the time. I was in some trouble. A tribune and his men caught me in a border town tavern. They meant to make him. Bull killed them. Gave up his eye doing it. Patched me up and asked if I was looking for work. I've been putting up with his jokes ever since.
That's how he lost?
Yes. The guards had me on the tavern floor when Bull came inside and yelled for them. One of them saw trouble coming and figured he'd finish me off. The guard had a flare. Bull put himself between me. Big horned idiot. Didn't even know me.
Is it strange?
He hasn't tried to convert us to the Qun, if that's what you're asking. Bull's charges don't care who you light a candle for, so long as you're shields. If he hadn't told me he was Ben Hasrath, I'd have thought he'd left that life behind.
I didn't expect he'd tell you all that.
Not the whole band, but those who've been around long enough to... He figures most of us would find out sooner or later, and it should come from him. It's too... It's never messed up a job. He just writes letters back home. Lots of the boys write letters back home.
We'll talk later.
I'm running... I hope I can help somehow. Maybe cleaning?
Oh, Inquisitor, I joined. Sutherland, your worship. I saw some bandits, so I came to warn people. I'll let your warriors know and then stay out of the way. I hope I can help somehow.
I'll ask around again tomorrow.
Well, let me know if you find her.
Hey you, I have an Inquisitor favor to ask. It's just a little thing, really. A little march around for some of your people. It's nothing for you, right?
All right, let's hear what you've got.
Jump right in, huh? I like that. It's a Red Jenny thing. I got a tip that some noble stiffs are arguing over Vashel. They're getting little people beat up. So I need you to go to your big table and send some people to walk...
Just walk through.
Just walk through. Easy, right?
Was this a tip from one of you?
Not a Jenny. Just normal, angry people getting sick of being... I don't usually hear about things this far away. But having a friend like you is like getting really big... Bigger ears, I guess. Shut up.
Who is asking?
I'm asking, because I heard people complaining. See, when nobles fight, it's not them, it's their little people. It's like a polite war, so no one pays attention. But if you march through, the people... Stuff like this is always happening. Good sovereigns to be made if you're one of the few who notice.
What is the Inquisition?
Nobles think everyone is out to get them. So when your helmets march through, both sides will think the other's your ally. Both get scared, both make deals. Worst case, you get a little bump among the people just because they see you active. Can't promise anything, but something will happen, just like always.
All right, Sarah.
It's fun, right? Being important without doing a thing. Well, not everything has to be torn skies and ancient arseholes. Every little thing makes...
I'll ask around again tomorrow.
Could be better.
It's made from people.
you explain how your mind works?
Yes?
Sometimes you say things that relate to other members.
They remember me. Their eyes stick. Varric is quiet inside. He pulls me more to hear. Makes me a person. Soulless, bright and sad. Observes and accepts. Spirit self, seeing the soul, soulless. But somehow...
It must be sad.
Why? No. I help. I see pain and make it better. How could I not be happy?
I'll talk to you.
Probably. There is no other man. He becomes the other man to do the things he can't.
The servants are having trouble remembering some odd events. Someone found a barrel full of misplaced...
They were safer there.
Safer than on someone's belt, where they could draw them in the heat of an argument?
They would have been sad later.
Someone is leaving peeled plums on the windowsill. It's attracting flies.
Spiders need to eat.
Let's talk about something.
All right.
As leader of the Inquisition, there's something I must tell you.
Whatever it is, I'm willing to listen.
Right. Thank you. Lyrium grants Templars our abilities, but it controls us as well. Those cut off suffer. Some go mad, others die. We have secured a reliable source of lyrium for the Templars here. But I no longer take it.
You stopped?
When I joined the Inquisition. It's been months now.
Cullen, if this can kill you...
It hasn't yet. After what happened in Kirkwall, I couldn't. I will not be bound to the Order, or that life any longer. Whatever the suffering, I accept it. But I would not put the Inquisition at risk. I've asked Cassandra to watch me. If my ability to lead is compromised, I will be relieved from duty.
Are you in pain?
I can endure it.
Thank you for telling me. I respect what you're doing.
Thank you, Inquisitor. The Inquisition's army must always take priority. Should anything happen, I will defer to Cassandra's judgment. Did you need something?
You and the Red Templars leader seem to have personal history.
When I arrived in Kirkwall, Samson and I shared quarters. Knight Commander Meredith later expelled Samson for erratic behavior. He was reinstated at the Champion's request, but he was still bitter. Now Samson serves Corypheus as his loyal general.
Why do you think Samson...
He had a chronic lyrium addiction. He spent every last coin. Perhaps Corypheus flattered his vanity, gave him purpose as well as lyrium. Perhaps that's all it took.
Sounds like Samson had a...
The Order expelled him, but he had choices. I don't understand how he became so powerful, even with red lyriums. Was there something you needed?
Is there anything I should know?
I'm glad to have the charges on our side, despite evidence to the contrary.
Is there anything...
Sarah brought me a piece of cake. She thought I looked...
Why are you telling me this?
Because it was either an act of kindness or a trap. I was hoping you knew which.
Is there anything...
Creating Inquisition footholds outside Skyhold has strengthened our reputation. We've received a number of recruits eager to pledge themselves to our cause.
Is there anything...
I believe Dagna has settled in well. She said...
Is that a bad thing?
I'm concerned she'll cheerfully blow up Skyhold with one of her experiments. The risk is small at present.
Is there...
Not at present.
That's...
Should you...
I'm here.
What do you think of the Inquisition?
I just know that you could shake this world to its foundations if you willed it.
We...
Yes?
Do you have any advice for me?
You know what you need to do, Inquisitor.
That's...
Another...
I hope it's not me.
What's going on?
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
What do you mean?
Something you need?
Dorian, there's a letter you need to see.
A letter? Is it a naughty letter? A humorous proposal from some Antivan dowager?
Not quite. It's from your father.
From my father? I see. And what does Magister Hallward want, pray tell?
A meeting.
Show me this letter. I know my son? What my father knows of me would barely fill a thimble. This is so typical. I'm willing to bet this retainer is a henchman, hired to knock me on the head and drag me back to Tevinter.
You think your father would actually do that?
No, although I wouldn't put it past him. Let's go. Let's meet this so-called family retainer. If it's a trap, we escape and kill everyone. You're good at that. If it's not, I send the man back to my father with a message that he can stick his alarm in his wit's end.
There seems to be bad blood between you and your family.
Interesting turn of phrase. But you're correct. They don't care for my choices, nor I for theirs.
Because you wouldn't get married? Because you left?
That too.
I think you should meet with this retainer. Find out what your family wants.
I didn't ask what you thought, did I? That was unworthy, I apologize. There'd be no harm in hearing what this man of my father's has to say. If I don't like it, however, I want to leave.
Your parents are reaching out to you. Doesn't that mean something?
Only that they're trying to choke me. Don't mind me. Let's see what comes of this.